Thanks for joining us here on the News at 10. I'm Joe Paris. Morgan and Brian have the evening off. We'll start with this. The fight over a large solar farm coming to Ada and Canyon County continues. Back in May, more than 100 community members brought their concerns to Ada County commissioners. As News Channel 7's Hunter Funk explains to us, today there was another round of public comment as the seats were nearly filled once again. Hunter arguing their cases.
Yeah, farmers, neighbors, business owners, and people with expertise in solar. The testimonies went on for several hours, ending just about 15 minutes ago with nearly 2,400-acre solar project on the table. Solar's not new to Idaho. There's already sites around the Treasure Valley. But those against the Power Butte Energy Center's solar project argue the several thousand-acre site would hurt the local economy.
Once they build this, there won't be the jobs that came off of that ground. There won't ever be any houses. There won't ever be anything but a glass desert. That's just going to choke our community, chokes the growth in our community, chokes our schools, chokes everything that is a community comes to a screeching halt.
Eric Casper is a farmer near Melba. He rented 500 acres of the farmland to grow feed for his dairy cows.
We double crop most of it, so we get a spring crop and a fall crop. We typically yield about 45 to 48 tons per acre total forage on that farm.
He says the company bought it, and his concern?
Preserve the farm ground like the Ada County Comprehensive Plan supports.
The debate brought out Rob Frank, an Oregon commissioner-elect for Harney County.
The whole Treasure Valley is some of the most fertile farmland in the U.S. In the western U.S., Yakima Valley, San Fernando Valley, and Willamette Valley are the only other comparable areas.
Frank says if this gets passed, he worries it'll keep happening across the surrounding states.
So to see premier production agricultural land like this taken out of production is worrisome to me because the precedent that it sets can cross county and state lines. And while we are trying to explore renewable energy resources for our country, I think we have to be mindful about our food production.
Frank says he's watched solar companies go up in Oregon, and there is no economic boost that comes into the community like a farm brings.
I would ask you to deny this conditional use permit.
A majority of the people that spoke during the public hearing expressed similar concerns. But people for the solar project argued it would bring a great renewable resource to the area.
Routinely, utilities select solar and storage projects as the least cost, least risk, most reliable, and safest option to satisfy their burgeoning resource needs.
And that 200 million gallons of water per day would no longer be used for the land and put back into the aquifer. Also, that it was difficult land to sell already.
We had absolutely no offers. It's been talked a lot about how this is all prime farm ground. Some of it is very good farm ground. Some of it is very marginal farm ground.
There are large outcrops of lava rock that can't be farmed. There's shallow soil, there's poor irrigation lines, there's steep terrain, there's power lines that run through the property. Some of our farm ground is good and some of it's very bad.
This property is owned privately. It's kind of interesting. All of a sudden it's Idaho's farm ground, or my neighbor wants to claim it as his farm ground.
Now, the decision is delayed until July 30th. This will give time for commissioners to research all of the things that were said at today's hearing before making that decision. Now, this hearing, again, was only for the portion of the project in Ada County. Canyon County's Planning and Zoning Commission will also have to vote. Joe?
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on this one, Hunter. You can see the perspectives from both sides. I will be very interested to see where this one lands. Maybe it could be different solutions in different counties. We will find out. Yeah. Hunter Funk reporting here on the News at 10. Thank you, Hunter.